Hello and welcome to the 2000 subscriber special where we are doing a mega campaign from CK3 to EU4. If you're seeing this video, that means I did it actually, and I didn't have to spend hours and hours and hours trying to figure out how to do the converter since I wasn't prepared for this at all, and I keep on trying to do it and it hasn't been working, but we're just gonna go for it and hopefully it worked out. But if you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe. We will see some interesting things. The converter will be special, and just for you guys to let no, we are not using Leviathan or 1.31 because that's broken as heck and the converter hasn't been updated. So we are going to be using 1.3 of CK3 and 1.30 of EU4, and we are just going to get right into it. Right away, all I gotta say is I need you, Byzantines. Don't just win the game. I know that you want to, and I know it's a strong possibility that you will just win the game, but if you rule the world, I am going to be so sad because it's the only thing I don't want to see. Literally anyone else can. I think there's a big chance that the Islamic nations in Iberia can win the game. But please, Byzantines, I don't care. If you die instantly, love it. Would great to see it. But I'm not exactly sure what we are going to be expecting here. Well, all I'm going to say is France isn't going to have a good time in EU4 because they have been absolutely demolished. England's been taking bites out of them. HRE has taken probably like 5 bites out of them. Like it's not even like the HRE that's doing it. It's like vassals are just destroying France. They are super weak. They probably are going to have a bad game. France usually does pretty bad in CK3, so I don't know if we'll see them in EU4. Besides that, the Byzantines are doing all right. Nothing really too abnormal so far. The only thing that's really abnormal is how fast France is dying. Usually they split apart in Aquitaines here. We'll probably see Aquitaine pretty soon, but besides that, everything's pretty normal. We're like 50 years into the game. Lyon's actually looking pretty good. They might unify with Castile, which I would love to see, and hopefully France can bring it together. Otherwise, we're going to have a really powerful HRE, or what's going to happen is the Islamic nations are going to just take over France, and then it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be real rough in EU4. I literally don't know what's happening. France is Orthodox. I have watched maybe like a good like 20, 40 AI games, and there's Orthodox for some reason. I don't know what happened. I've never seen this. I don't even know how this is possible. I don't know if this AI is rogue. This is base game. I didn't change anything. I don't have any mods or anything like that because I'm afraid of the conversion. But yeah, France is Orthodox, and we'll probably see Aquitaine pop up right here. So I don't know. This is just weird. So Hungary is getting a bit more hungry. They just took out Ruthenia, which I've never seen before. I don't know how they got a clean on that kingdom, but they're looking really good. There's a chance that they could actually form this empire here, which I would love to see. And then the Persian Empire, they fell apart, and hopefully we can see someone become powerful. Otherwise, the Byzantines will just get super powerful. So please, someone unite. Could be Egypt. Hopefully it's Egypt. I always get comments like, why do you hate the Byzantines so much? Why? They're OP as heck in CK3, and when I mean they have ruined videos, I have made videos where I have buffed the living daylights out of someone, and they still just win the game. I have removed the Byzantines from the game in a video, and somehow a nation that was from the Byzantines still like won the game. So it's a hate relationship. I hate everything about the Byzantines. Oh, the first crusade happened and it was successful, so now we have a Hungarian Catholic here. Usually these nations don't stay around for too long, but it would be very interesting to see a powerful Jerusalem or Syria in EU4, but I doubt it. It could happen, but very unlikely. I actually love it when the HRE does good. HRE got Hungary, which they sometimes do get this. And this is kind of what happens in EU4 sometimes, and I gotta say I kind of like it because this really blocks the Byzantines from coming in. But I gotta say, HRE, you looking pretty good. Also, this Russian nation, yeah, they're falling apart. They're getting eaten by everyone, which makes me sad, but they were doing good. Well, see you later, Persian Empire. It was good knowing you. This is disgusting. Hopefully Egypt, which is actually now called Egypt. Thank you. This nation just died here, which is like the Persian Empire. So hopefully Egypt can take advantage and not the Byzantines. But I know the Byzantines, they're gonna wreck house, unfortunately. You know, I was rooting for Egypt the entire game. Yeah. Maybe we'll root for Nubia now because Egypt's dead. It makes me so sad. Oh man, they were like, I thought they were gonna go all the way. Like I was hoping to get Egypt and like EU4 the Mamluks. They're gone. I think they just got conquered by the Byzantines. Feels bad. I feel like Finland's pretty rare, so I think it's pretty cool that we have 2 Finlands. You usually don't even see one, but you know, the fact that we see 2 Finlands is actually kind of cool. I can't wait to see which Finland wins. Hopefully it's right Finland, because left Finland looks kind of weak. Yeah, so I went to go get coffee, and I don't know what happened. So you know how Galicia over here, look, they're looking fine. Wait, they have 11,000. That doesn't look like that much territory. How do they have so many troops? Yeah, I don't know. I don't think this is a crusade. Maybe it was a crusade from Mesopotamia, or they inherited it somehow. But yeah, so Galicia has all this land in the Middle East, and I'm not sure how, and I kind of like it. Border gore galore, for sure, but I've never seen something like that in CK3, and I want to see more. More of it, please. Oh, France, you are looking really bad, and it literally could only get worse from here. France is not going to be in the next game. They will be, maybe, but they won't be very powerful. But you know who will be there? The Byzantines, of course. I have to say Scandinavia and Finland. Sorry, I know Scandinavia's not including Finland, but Scandinavia is looking pretty good. Sweden is going very into the Baltics, and I really like that. Finland's also expanding into Russian territory, so I really think this is a good Scandinavia game, plus Finland. So we'll see from there. I also forgot to mention that the Mongols are here. Yeah, I hate that they're not called the Mongol Empire. I would literally go in and change the game, but I don't have debug mode on. Yeah, so the Mongols are here. I don't think they will reach the Byzantines just because there are so many places. Like, there's no way they can just go through all these. So hopefully they do kill the Byzantines. I would love to see that, but I doubt it. I've never seen this before. There's a crusade against the Byzantines, and they're Orthodox. I didn't know that they could do a crusade against another Christian faith. Am I dumb? Holy cow, look at this map for... Yo, this is nutty. I've never seen this before. Yo, France, you're really spicing the game up. What the heck? There's Islamic nations up here? What is going on here? These guys are... Like, what? I don't know. Do you hear that? The bells? Oh man, the Byzantine Empire blew up. They split in half. I think it was a peasant rebel. And look at the Byzantines are dead. They split in half. Look at this. This is amazing. I don't know about you guys, but I am so excited. For all you Byzantine fans out there, I know there's a ton of you. I get comments all the time. This is what you guys get. The Byzantines need to die. And there they go. They're dead. So the Byzantines have even collapsed even more. They split in half, and then usually what happens when there's a big civil war like that, the AI automatically gives independence to people. So there's a whole bunch of nations that got their independence here. So the Byzantines could have maybe came back and like claimed their empire back to get the rest of the land. But I think with all of these breakout people, the Byzantines probably won't be as powerful as they should be. But they'll still be around, just a lot weaker than usual, which I'm a big fan of. And Africa, I like it. Keep it up, Africa. I've never seen this religion. I don't know what this is. It is so cool though. It's like BOGO. Oh my gosh, buy one get one free. It's buy one get one free. Holy crap, BOGO's in here, guys. Let's buy one get one free. You get a free phone. You get a free phone. Everyone gets a free phone. But in all reality, I don't know what religion this is. This is a Christian faith. I've never seen it before. I don't know if this is normal. I don't know if they just like created it out of nothing, but it's very interesting. So cool to see though. Very cool to see. Well, the Mongols are dead. They were here for a little bit. They got pretty far, but I actually know what happened is they just didn't have a what's it called, someone to inherit the throne. So they just died. The dynasty just literally died. I don't think any of these nations will create anything. Mongolia looks pretty good, not gonna lie, but there's no way that they're gonna break out. And then also, if we look over at HRE, they lost Hungary. I think they might get it back because Hungary's kind of weak. But overall, I gotta say, no one's really looking that strong. It's gonna be an interesting game in EU4. Besides England, if England keeps its power, England might run away with it. So we'll have to keep an eye on England. It's disgusting. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know if EU4 can handle this much border gore, because dang, it's bad. Maybe the Byzantines should come back. The Byzantines are actually quite powerful still, but dang, don't look over here. This is like counties over here. This is just disgusting, and it's not much better over here. This is gonna be an interesting rest of the game. Hopefully someone can figure it out. The Byzantines are back, but they're not normal. They're this BOGO religion. Yeah, so they're back and they're officially the new BOGO religion. I don't know how I feel about that. Also, Jerusalem is here, so that is good to see. The Byzantines are actually dying to a crusade right now, so maybe we'll see them lose some land. But the Byzantines are back, and they're a new religion, and I would love to see that in the new EU4 when we convert it. So maybe don't die, Byzantines. Maybe you can stay now. You're like reformed. You're a little different. Also, France is like officially dead. They're pretty much like kind of like 2 duchies now. They're not even a kingdom. Maybe they're kind of a kingdom, but they're dead. So we probably won't see much of France going forward. Hey, we had the AI form Portugal, which is something the AI can do. They have to have a Castilian culture and then pretty much just have modern day Portugal. So they were able to form that, which is kind of cool. That is an achievement that you can get if you start with the right ruler. Very cool to see. There's like 100 years left, and I gotta say, I've said this before. This is the worst border gore I've ever seen. This is bad. The HRE itself is the worst I've ever seen. Look at all this just random lands out here. It doesn't even make sense. I don't even know how this happened. And now Ireland has random. Now they're gonna kick Ireland out, but it's just disgusting. It looks like we might have a united Islamic nation in Iberia, which would be kind of cool. I still think it's Bogo. Byzantines are pretty cool too, but I gotta say, it's just ugly. The entire map is ugly. Besides India, look at India. India's looking really good. If India can like take this nation out here, India might be the most united I've ever seen. Besides that, it's pretty bad. Actually, Africa and India looking pretty good. Everywhere else, disgusting. Get it out of the game. Thank you very much. We have our answer on who took Iceland, and it was Scotland and not Norway. And the reason why is because Norway's kind of dead. Usually Norway takes Iceland, but today it was Scotland, and I'm glad to see someone took them over. We have about 50 years left to CK3, and I have to say this African nation is really standing out to me. They're looking really good. They have a lot of actually good coastline right here, so maybe they might do good in EU4. But besides that, England is really a standout as well, just because they do so good in EU4, so I know when it gets converted over they should do well as well. But really, I gotta say, I'm looking out for Sweden and Lithuania. I think they'd be the underdogs. Right now, really, if we're gonna give the win to anyone, who it might be, it'd be the HRE or the Byzantines. But they're both kind of so powerful they cancel each other out. So if one of them wins CK3 here, then I think they do good in EU4. But right now, they kind of cancel each other out, and I don't see one of them going over the other in EU4. Well, we are at the end of CK3. I'm ending it at 1444 because that's the start of normal EU4. And I have to say, it's pretty ugly at the end. The borders get a lot cleaner in EU4, but it's going to be pretty bad at the start. I'm actually not quite sure how the HRE works with this conversion. I think they might be all separate, so that might even make it messier. I hope to God not, but it might be. But I have to say, the big nations that I'm kind of looking at are England, HRE, Sweden, Byzantines, and this African nation. I think there's a couple other. I think Iberia can also be very good. I think that Man and this other nation could be very good, especially because they're Islamic and they could colonize easily, so I would like to see that. But if I had to pick a winner at this point, the HRE is looking real good, and so are the Byzantines. They're both super strong, but this African nation is also looking real good too. There's also some other powerful nations, but these are the big ones that I really think will do a lot. I have to say Africa in general is looking really good. Same with India. These are very unified, so there's a chance that they could maybe get something. Middle East, I'm not too thrilled about. I don't think too much is going to happen. Same with like Russian territory. I don't think we're going to see like a powerful Russian nation. I could be wrong, but we'll have to see what happens in EU4. Before we switch over, we have to look at the religions, because I think this is a pretty unique religion game. Bogomilst, which we'll just call Bogo for short, is looking real good. I've never seen this faith ever, and this could be the time that Bogo rules the world. Also, this Islamic religion I usually don't see too much, and also India's religions are pretty united as well. So this might be a very interesting game because of the religion. So I would like to see Bogo do really good, but not the Byzantines. I want some nation. Even if they change their name, I'd like that more. And then also we do have a big chunk of Catholic, but Catholic is pretty weak, mostly because of this Orthodox France. We are now in EU4, and let's look to see what is going on. First, let's look at the HRE. They are all, in fact, still together. They are under here, and for some reason, the person that's in charge is this tiny nation here. Hopefully we'll see someone more powerful take hold, or else the HRE might fail. But I have to say, some of the best looking nations when we convert it over to EU4 has to be the Byzantine Empire. They look really good. Also, this nation here, Dalam, they look super good too. And if we look out even further to the west, we can see Mongolia looks huge too. They might just have some big borders, but I think they got some buffs because of the conversion. Otherwise, if we have to say Man is no longer here, they got their name changed. But for EU4, the nations we really have to look for are Portugal, England, and Sweden. They usually do good out in EU4 normally, and since they did okay as well in CK3, we should expect to see great things from here. France might actually do good, but you know what we can do? We can actually see what the game thinks the best people are. So let's go ahead and look at the great powers in the start. So we in fact, Dalam is number 8th, which I thought was pretty good. Then we have Sweden, which I expected as well. Sweden looks pretty good. England, yes, good. They should only get better. Malwa, which I think is an Indian nation. I think there's actually 4, 3, and 2. Oh no, 5, 4, and 3 are all Indian nations. So we have Malwa, which I think is somewhere in India. They are looking very good. But where is Malwa? Wait a minute, Malwa not in India? Hello, Malwa? Oh, Malwa is in India. It's right there. Then we have Delhi, and then this nation here. Yeah, we have 3 top 8 nations in India, which I think is actually kind of interesting. But the person that is in the front is the Byzantine Empire. They are almost twice as powerful as Ming. So we should definitely see the Byzantines keep on striving. Hopefully they don't conquer the entire world. But I would expect the European nations to gain more power. So Sweden, England, and Portugal, I think we should keep an eye out, especially since they're 6 and 7. Byzantines as well, keep an eye out. But we also should maybe watch India a little bit more, even though India does have a harder time in EU4. I do not know how faiths get changed, so I think we should look at religion, and it looks like all the religion did get converted. So we do got the Bogos. The Bogos are here, which are very interesting. I feel like Catholic and Orthodox, I feel like Catholic got a big buff. I feel like there's a lot more Orthodox and Catholic in the last. So Catholic looks super strong actually, and Orthodox looks like they got kind of debuffed. Sunni is looking really good in this game. It looks like it combined those 2 religions there, Islamic nations. So we really should see how well Bogo does, and let's just get into it and see how it goes. Also, shout Hindu, you guys looking really good, so let's see what happens in this game. To get things started, the Byzantines are getting absolutely destroyed by everyone. They have been in like 5 wars. Syria has taken land from them, and so has Dalam. So I think they just have really spread out borders, so a lot of people are attacking them. And Hungary's actually after them right now as well. France lost a war, so France might not be doing good. And then Portugal is actually starting to eat up some of their Iberian neighbors. But I do have to say, the biggest underdog that I'm watching for right now is Africa, because they are expanding rapidly. They're killing all their neighbors. They're not actually on the great powers list, but I think they have a lot to do. And then also my big prediction of Sweden, this might be Sweden's game. They are just taking a lot of the Baltic territory. They're just eating up this coastline. So I really looking for Sweden, and I still want the Byzantines to collapse just because it's the Byzantine Empire. Of course, the first person to colonize is Portugal. I haven't seen anyone else colonize yet. Oh, actually, never mind. We have Scotland here. So we have Scotland and Portugal. So I don't think England's going to kill Scotland at all because they're allies to each other, but it's very interesting to see these 2 nations be there. I'm expecting Sweden to get to Canada. They might not, but like, it's going to be interesting to see how colonization happens in this game with all the weird thing. And just another update on the Byzantines is they're getting absolutely destroyed. It's disgusting, and they keep on losing wars. Scotland is looking like they are going to form the UK. England is slowly dying. France kicked them out, and Scotland took a big bite of them. So Scotland just has to get the rest of Ireland, and they can get the rest of England, and they will be able to conquer the British Isles, and they are already on their way to colonize, so hopefully we see them still do that. Portugal is slowly dying, so their colonization will probably slow down, so we'll probably see Scotland really pick it up, or hopefully it will give time for Sweden to colonize. because I am telling Sweden to colonize and they're not listening. And hopefully they do that. We have some stars now that I think have really outshine everyone. We have Cordoba. Cordoba is looking really good. They were a man in CK3 and now they're here to tell you how to do it. Scotland is looking very good, and also both of these nations are colonizing. Cordoba just started colonizing and Scotland is getting the Caribbean. I think England will slowly fade away, and someone that is surprising is France. I really crapped on France in CK3. I said they weren't going anywhere, they were gonna die, but they are here and they are here to stay. So hopefully we can see France do something really good. And yeah, the Byzantines, I'm saying it now, they're officially dead, and I'm happy. No matter who wins, this is how I want it to be. We have the Dutch equivalent out here colonizing. I'm pretty sure they are Dutch. No, yeah, these are Dutch. It's Belgian Dutch, kind of very complicated. Yes, these are them. They're over here in Canada. They're part of the HRE, so it's kind of interesting to see the HRE colonizing, and it's very disappointing to see Sweden not colonizing. They are super powerful, and they are doing nothing with their powerful. Ruthenia, though, is looking very good. Same with Vladimir. They are looking like they could be the Russians. I didn't think they would be the Russians. Like, I didn't think they would be here. But there's possible Russia could form between Ruthenia and Vladimir, and that would be pretty cool to see. But unfortunately, there is a powerful HRE. This HRE is insane. This is the strongest HRE I've seen, unless the Commonwealth joins the HRE. This HRE is nuts. Austria looks great. These guys look at Lustadia. They have so much of Anatolia, which is pretty much Turkey. It's insane. I'm gonna say HRE is gonna win this. There's no way. If they unite, which I think is quite possible with conversion, they're gonna win this. No problem, hands down. Well, it looks like all my predictions were pretty much wrong. The Byzantines are dead. Sweden is losing a big chunk of power to Ruthenia, so I don't expect much from them. They also are losing it to the HRE. England is dead as well, and Portugal is dead too. So really, all my guesses are dead, besides the HRE. The HRE is still going strong. They're looking really powerful. But I gotta say, Scotland, I hope you kind of do well, because you're looking pretty good. But yeah, it's my predictions out the window. I'm trash besides the HRE. Also, I just want to say, rip Africa. Africa was doing so good. I was like checking in on them a lot. They were like on top of the leaderboard, and they kind of just fallen apart. Same with Nubia. They really just kind of died out of nowhere. There are no new people that can reach South America, maybe just a tiny bit, but we have a lot of interesting nations. We have the Scottish, we have the English, which are the main ones, and then we also have Aquitaine here, Portugal, which is, no, wait a minute, that's not Portugal. What is this nation? Patagonia? This nation that I don't know, are they natives? No, these are native Portuguese, like they fused. Interesting. These were Iberians. Leon, which is apparently alive. What? So I guess Leon is alive now. Portugal's alive too, and so are these other Iberians. I didn't even know that. But they're all here in South America, and then we also have this African nation here in South America. But it's really just going to be between England and Scotland, and it's most likely, if it stays in a European or African control, it's going to go to Scotland. They have the most power, maybe Aquitaine. And then in North America, it's still got a lot of openings, but I'm really thinking Cordoba or this Dutch nation is looking very good. That's part of the HRE. I think they really have it. Yemen, I swear at one point I was like, yo, there's no way a Russian nation can do really good. Yeah, never mind. It looks like Russia is just gonna win the game. They probably are the most powerful nation. Unless the HRE form or like do something to stop them, they're just gonna go crazy. Ruthenia is literally going insane. They pretty much murdered Sweden. They killed all their competition. They have plenty of room to move now. These nations are pretty powerful here, but I think if they reach the Mongols, they would absolutely destroy the Mongols. But the only problem with Ruthenia is they can't go into Europe because the HRE, yo, they thick. This is definitely the most powerful HRE, but it's good to see that Russia didn't just give away like the Byzantines did, because now the Byzantines are just northern Egypt, and then there's just this random Greece and Africa. Yeah, It's whatever. Yeah, the Byzantines just failed us all. Scotland officially has all of the British Isles. What does that mean? Oh, well, they have a lot of power now. They are probably one of the most powerful nations in the game. But the interesting thing is there's still a lot of English colonies. So I'm thinking these colonies will probably collapse at any moment, and this might allow for Scotland to take them over. But usually colonies are pretty powerful after they get their independence. But I don't know. La Plata looks pretty thick, so I doubt it. And I gotta say, the Galarian Canada, they're looking real good. And I said something about how like the culture is like Dutch. It's not Dutch. It's like a mixture of Dutch and Belgium. I know I've done some research on this era, so it's they're like a mixture culture of the two areas, but they're not Belgium or Dutch. It's like a mixture. Sorry if I said that. Don't hurt me, please. Well, I feel like Austria has been flying under the radar, but they are looking super strong. I think they're allied with Ruthenia, so that's why they're doing so good. But they're getting a lot of Nordic lands up here and Baltic lands. They're doing pretty good. I could see them definitely coming in the top 8. I think some of the most powerful nations right now are Great Britain, Ruthenia, and Austria. I do think this Lustian nation's doing pretty good. They've had like this entire pretty much modern day Turkey for the entire game. They really took advantage of the collapse of the Byzantines, and kind of interesting to see. I think Cordoba finally looks like Spain. They're looking real good. They did kill Portugal. I think Africa did, and then they bursted Portugal out. But Cordoba, I don't know. I felt like they could have done more with how powerful they were. It's sad to see that they don't have a lot in the New World. They looking pretty weak. I still think it's insane that Galari has so much land, and they're so small. Well, it looks like the Timurids were here. There was a big nation here, but now Timmy is here, and I gotta let you know, Timmy is looking strong, and I think they could pretty much kill anyone. And with that, we also have the revolutionary Great Britain, which is not good, because usually that means they get attacked by everyone. Also, Sweden's officially dead, which I wanted them to win the game, but you know, we can't all win. But I have to say, Austria, Timmy, and Great Britain, they're all looking real strong. Well, Timmy is officially killing Mongolia. It's about time, so they're rapidly expanding. Ruthenia actually hasn't done anything in the past like 100 years. They've kind of just been sitting here, not doing too much, just chilling. Down in South America, the Europeans are killing the independent nations like Peru and Colombia. France is just kicking them out. And we may be seeing some independent nations in North America because the Galarian, they're starting to have some difficulties because of Scotland, aka the UK. So hopefully we see something. And I also did not see this. It looks like Cordoba just got taken over. No, maybe they formed a nation. I actually don't know what happened here. They're now these other people that were in Iberia. They just like switched names, but like I literally have no idea what happened. They just like switched, and they still own all their colonies. So I don't know if they formed the nation they took over or something like that. I am so proud of France. They like were so bad in CK3, but they brought it back, and they actually took all of France now. Aquitaine is kicked out, so we should probably see some independent colonies from them. But France finally came back, and they're looking good. I don't think they're going to be in the top 8, but I have to say it feels good because they pretty much almost lost the game, but they're back and they're doing good. Actually, they might be in the top 8. They have some colonies, but who knows. We are officially at the end date, and I have to say, if we're just looking off of font size, the Timurids, they look good. They really expanded. Pretty much Mongolia was super weak, so they just took them out, and then they even started eating up some of China. I still think there's definitely some people in Europe that could be up there. This Lusitania, they're looking really good. Austria's also looking really good. They're both revolutionary. Ruthenia, I have to say, they fell off. They really haven't done anything for a while, and I think it's because they were allied with Austria. We also gotta do the colonial powers of the UK, aka Scotland, and France, because France really started picking up in the New World. But we'll just have to see and look. I think before we figure out who's the top ones, let's look at the religion and culture. Religion, Bogo unfortunately died. Actually, no, Bogo is still alive here in Africa. The only reason why I wanted Byzantines to survive was because of that religion, but it's also interesting to see Orthodox over here, and that's because France converted in CK3. That's why I love conversion, is because it comes all the way over. And then Russia, Ruthenia, was also Orthodox. There's some Protestant, but if we look in the New World, the New World's actually a mix of Protestant and Catholic. There is a little bit of Sunni because these guys guys, Old Cordoba, but now their new name that I can't pronounce, they colonized a little bit. And then we also have the original England with some original colonies also having England here. But I think for culture, culture should be pretty normal. It's just a whole bunch of European cultures over here. Nothing really different. There's a little different spreads than usual, but in the most part, it's pretty normal, except for this. What culture is that in here? We have some culture there. Norwegian in Ireland, which is kind of weird, but for the most part, it's okay. I think Timmy might win. They're pretty much Persia. I really didn't think that anyone would win from the Middle East, but they showed me wrong. So now it's time to go to the leaderboard and see who won. In 8th place, we have Revolutionary Sao, which was pretty much old Africa. These are the guys in Africa that took over Africa, the nation, not the continent. They're looking pretty good. Bayar, they are power of Asia, aka India. They looked really good. They got some colonization. You can see them in the background over here. Ruthenia, yeah, number 6, they kind of fell off. I was really hoping for them to have a better game after they picked it up, but then they kind of just stopped going. Revolutionary Lusatia, they looked pretty good. They pretty much had all of Turkey for a while. They really advantaged. 4th, Revolution Austria. Yep, I thought they would be out there. France is 3rd. I did not expect that. France really came out of nowhere. I thought they were going to die in CK3, and now they're 3rd. And number 2, Timurids, which is a little shocking. I thought they would be up there, little number 1. And number 1, we have Revolutionary Great Britain, or aka Scottish Great Britain. So Scotland formed Great Britain, and they won. They kind of flew under the radar. I thought England could have a chance to win this, but it was actually Scotland that took them out and won the game. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed this mega campaign. I will not be doing this very often. This took me several days to record, and I haven't even edited it yet, so it'll probably take a couple more days to edit. But if you like this, please subscribe so we can maybe do more. Maybe we could do a mega campaign where we do like EU4 to Hoi4, or we can do a whole one from CK3 EU4 Hoi4. We could really start going. Maybe put Vicky 2 in there. I'm not sure. But if you like this, make sure to leave a like. And this was actually really fun to make. It just takes way too much time, and I actually had to not make some videos because of the series. But thank you. Have a good one, and see you later.